right, good evening and welcome to the 2018 Mount SAC's Athletics Hall of Fame. Thank you. You know, this is a very special occasion, and tonight we're here celebrating the very best of athletics at Mount San Antonio Community College. You know, and I don't think we could have picked a better time of year to have this celebration. To really emphasize the importance and the impact of sports. You know, last week we had a little football game called the Super Bowl, and I think it was watched by some, millions of people, or millions and millions of people around the world. So did anybody catch the game? Okay, well, you're better at catching things than Tom Brady. So, yeah, I thought that would get a bit. I can't help but wonder if he would have caught that ball, would it have changed the outcome? But probably not. I think the Philadelphia Eagles played tremendously, and congratulations on their first Super Bowl victory. And then last night, I hope you watched it, but we had the opening ceremonies of the Winter Olympics. It was pretty impressive. I certainly enjoyed it, and I'm still wondering how they got all those drones to work and not run into each other. Pretty amazing. I know if I was there operating one, I'd have to scratch my nose or sneeze, and that would have been the end of the whole thing. But I thought it was really great, very impressive, and now we're going to have a whole new crop of Olympians that'll be returning home after the Winter Games. At Mount SAC, we've had dozens and dozens of Olympic athletes who have attended the school over the years, and many of them are members of our Hall of Fame, and some of them are with us tonight, and they'll be recognized. I don't think there's a better time or more exciting time to be a Mountie. I don't know if you've driven by the campus lately and seen the big hole in the ground, but that's going to be the site of our new state-of-the-art stadium and athletic facility. Just can't wait for it to get built. And I guess the most exciting thing of all, that stadium will be the site of the 2020 United States Olympic Track and Field Trials. So congratulations, Mount SAC, the Board of Trustees, Dr. Scroggins for making all of this happen. Doug and Joe, fantastic job. And I'm very thrilled to be a small part of it and look forward to the next 2 years and seeing it happen. You think back, and if my memory's correct, might not be, but it's been 50 years since we had an Olympic trials in that stadium. I think the women going to Mexico City participated there. The men and women used to compete in Olympic trials separately back in those days. Thank God they do it together now. Much nicer, certainly a lot more scenic. And then the magnitude and the importance of an Olympic trials. I think here we are in Southern California. I think we turn out more summer Olympic track and field athletes probably than any other state, and in Southern California by itself. So I don't think there's been a track and field competition of that importance in Southern California probably since the 1984 LA Olympic Games. So how exciting and what an honor for Mount SAC to be the host of these 2020 games, Olympic track and field trials. While we celebrate the legacy of former Mounties tonight, I can guarantee you that there'll be many more legends in the making who are just now getting started. And when they get here to this place, they're going to have some very incredible people to look up to, like tonight's inductees. Tonight's Hall of Fame members have each made a deep and lasting impact on our favorite college, as well as in their professional lives. Our Hall of Fame class of 2018 includes Dodger legend Fred Clare, middle distance champion Ray Van Asten, softball dual threat Marcel Torres Williamson, cross country and track star Frank Gilbert, record-breaking runner David Casper, and winning coach and advocate Rocky Seto. So to all of you, let me be the first to say, welcome to the club. All right. Now, before we go any farther, to tell us a little more about how important tonight is and to introduce some special guests that are here with us celebrating these new inductees, would you please welcome Mount San Antonio College's President and CEO, Dr. Bill Scroggins.
Thank you, Bob. It's an honor to share this stage with the pole vaulting legend. I'd like to wish a warm welcome to our Hall of Fame inductees and our guests tonight. You are the legends of the Hall of Fame and the living proof of that Mount SAC is the most outstanding community college athletic program in the nation. In particular, I'd like to welcome all of you who are here tonight to celebrate with us and introduce to you some of my esteemed colleagues. We have 5 of the 7 Mount San Antonio College Board of Trustees members with us here tonight, including Manuel Baca, Roseanne Bader, Jay Chen, Robert Hidalgo, and Laura Santos. Thank you, Board of Trustees, for your emphasis on athletics at Mount SAC. We are also honored tonight to have Assemblywoman Blanca Rubio in the audience. Blanca. She has provided each of our inductees an official proclamation that they will receive with their medallions. Thank you, Assemblywoman Rubio. For as long as Mount San Antonio College has existed, our athletics program has been among the best in the country. And tonight, you hear the stories about our inductees and get to know those in this room. You will see why. While it can be tempting to rest on our laurels, I want to assure you that the Mount SAC you know and love continues to strive for excellence and distinction. With the renowned Mount SAC relays and cross-country invitational, our reputation spans the globe. And as Bob said, we will be hosting the 2020 U.S. Olympic Team Track and Field Trials. You know, it's an important vote of confidence in the college and in its athletics. Eat our dust, Oregon. Our planning is well underway, and we expect to have an exceptional event. Wherever it takes you, trust me when I say you want to come back here to Mount SAC for the trials in June of 2020. Will you be here with us? All right. I'm looking forward to hearing the incredible stories of our Athletic Hall of Fame class in 2018. And to welcome you, let me call to the podium the President of the Mount San Antonio College Board of Trustees, Dr. Manuel Baca.
Uh-oh. I was afraid I was going to do this. Okay. Leave it alone. Thank you, Bill. It's a great honor to be here tonight. You know, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I thank all of you for joining in this celebration and congratulate our 6 incredible Hall of Fame inductees. The Hall of Fame Banquet is an opportunity for us to reflect on those who have made an impact on their sports since leaving Mount SAC. It's also a chance to remember the impact that Mount SAC had on our own lives. For many of us, it's where we honed our skills, formed bonds, and realized our full potential. As I look around the room, I'm in awe of the talent and dedication here. This is a room full of people who have constantly found a way to go further, faster, higher. You've made your sport better for it, and you've made Mount SAC better for it. In closing, I'd like to say to the new inductees, thank you. Thank you for going above and beyond, even when it felt impossible. You serve an inspiration for our students across campus, whether they're athletes or not. While your journey since leaving Mount SAC has taken you countless places, you will always carry the Mountie spirit with you wherever you go. And tonight, we certainly welcome you home. And I just want to give a shout out to Doug because, you know, we got those Olympic trials and we are well on our way. So congratulations to all of us for taking it from the University of Oregon. And with that, I'll hand things over to Joe Jenham, the Director of Athletics and Dean of the Division of Kinesiology, Athletics, and Dance. Joe.
Do I dare touch this? Yeah, okay. Well, I want to say on behalf of our athletics program, I want to welcome you here tonight. And certainly when you look at the leadership we have at Mount SAC, there is no question why we are successful. And it certainly starts from the top. Certainly starts from the top with our President and CEO, Dr. Scroggins, and certainly all the board members who support our programs, and we certainly appreciate it. I have the pleasure of introducing some VIPs here tonight, and I think some are very special to us in our program, and I'd like to start off with two of those. They are vice presidents here on campus, and like many of our events and activities, you're going to see them in our stands and on the sidelines supporting our students and student athletes. Beginning with my boss, the Vice President of Instruction, Dr. Irene Malmgren. And then certainly our Vice President of Student Services, she's a wonderful supporter of what we do at Mount SAC and all of our programs, Dr. Audrey Yamagata-Noji. Now, events like this don't just happen. You don't just walk in and suddenly everything's ready to go. We have an amazing committee that makes this happen every single year, and I would be remiss if I didn't recognize them. So could I please have the Hall of Fame committee please stand and be recognized right now? Please give them a round of applause. This is a group that worked tirelessly for the last year, and the effort and energy that goes into this is certainly all because of them, and you'll find their names on the back of the program. And certainly if you see them, please thank them for tonight's event. It's an amazing opportunity for us. We also have a dignitary in the audience. I know Assemblywoman Rubio was mentioned, but we also have a councilwoman also here. We have in the audience Susan Rubio here joining us. Thank you, Susan, for taking the time. We appreciate it. We also have members of the foundation here. Don Sachs and his lovely wife, Nancy, is here in the audience. Don and Nancy, thank you very much. We also have a wonderful partner in the audience, and we're obviously building relationships and partnerships with the community, and this is no exception. We have Steve Craig here in the audience, and he is the CEO of Craig Realty and Multimedia LED. Steve, please stand. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it and look forward to continuing our partnership with you. We also have Sam Fernandez, Senior Vice President and General Counsel for the LA Dodgers. He's here for Fred Clare. And so, Sam, are you here in the audience? Sam, thank you very much for being here for Fred. And as certainly mentioned, 2020 U.S. Olympic track and field trials are right around the corner. All the work is being done to prepare for that. Stadium is in the midst of construction. But also it wouldn't happen without a very, very select group of individuals who have taken time out of their busy schedules to be a part of that endeavor. And I want to at least recognize a few of the folks who are here, including one of the members of our advisory group, Mr. Fred Clayton. Fred, please stand, be recognized. We also have our very successful track and field and cross country coach who will be the event manager for the 2020 track and field trials, Doug Todd. Doug. And if he didn't already have enough to do with his job as Master of Ceremonies and in many events that he's constructing, working, and facilitating throughout the year, Bob Seagren has offered up his ability and skills to chair the local organizing committee for us. So please give Bob Seagren a round of applause for, again, taking that on behalf of Mount SAC. Now, this event started in 1992, and we had a 1993 Hall of Fame as well, and then we had a little hiatus. We had about 20 years where we hadn't produced a Hall of Fame. But I wanted to recognize a gentleman who was very instrumental in that first Hall of Fame, and he's joined us here again tonight, and want to thank him and certainly recognize him. And that's Michael Fennison. Michael is there in the back. Mike, stand up, recognize. Michael was very instrumental in doing that hard work and showing what it needs to make this thing happen, and certainly built off of some of that energy, and we're thankful that we're now 6 in a row here, and we're very, very excited about the induction class this year, joining what an amazing group of Hall of Famers. This wouldn't be possible year in and year out without our student athletes, and we're actually fortunate enough to have several of them joining us here tonight. They're at select tables ranging from our Student Athlete Advisory Council that's representative of individual sports that come and speak to us and talk to me about their needs and some of the programming and changes that could happen. We have them here in the back, but can I have all the student athletes who are here, are part of a team or part of our SAC, please stand and be recognized? Let's give them a round of applause. We have women's volleyball, softball, women's basketball, water polo and swim, and believe it or not, in that group, just this past November, we had both the men's and women's cross-country teams bring home state championship trophies, and they're sitting right over here. Yes. What an amazing time to see them compete and do their very best for Mount SAC. So thank you, student athletes, for being here and certainly being a part of our family. So congratulations. And then also, I want to recognize certainly the numerous coaches and employees, past and present, who are taking time out of their evening and joining us to induct this wonderful class. And so with those coaches and past employees and current employees, please stand and be recognized so we can appreciate you and thank you for all your hard work that you do. Don't be shy. Come on, coaches. And so I have the distinct pleasure of welcoming the next speaker up to the podium. She is the Associate Dean and Associate Athletics Director here at Mount SAC. She's a 2-time women's soccer state championship coach and a charter member of the 1992 Hall of Fame class. So please join me in welcoming to the stage who will introduce some other VIPs, Debbie Cavillon.
Cassandra's here, and she's probably got some athletic tape. We can work on this. Thank you. Good evening. As you can see, the current Hall of Fame members have these silver medallions that we wear, and we invite all of the Hall of Fame members back each year to be a part of this event and to welcome in the new class. And just a quick story on this silver medal. About a dozen years ago, I was Assistant Athletics Director, and I was asked to go to a board meeting, and the board was recognizing Mark Creer. He was a silver medalist in the Olympics, and he had his silver medal with him. So I went to the meeting. I hadn't met Mark before, but we had a little conversation, and he put the medal around my neck, and we took a picture, and it was, really neat and exciting. But was more telling was when we came back and put this event together again. Mark was one of our assistant track and field coaches, and he had yet to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And when I walked by his table with this medal around my neck, he pointed to it and he said, "That is the silver medal that I want." And I think that speaks volumes about what this college and this athletic program means to people. And so we're going to be introducing many amazing individuals who are part of this Mount SAC Hall of Fame. I would ask the members to stand when I introduce you. Remain standing until everyone has been introduced. And if we could hold our applause, we've got about 20-something people to introduce, and that might save your hands a little bit, and we could give it a round of applause at the end. So no real particular order here, other than those that are 90 or older, I put at the end of the list. So last year we had them standing for quite some time. Larry Richard, class of 2017. A Mountie hoop star in the 80s who was a junior college All-American, the South Coast Conference Player of the Year, and Mount SAC Male Athlete of the Year. After college, Larry had a very successful professional basketball career in Europe. Naomi Lowe Reale, class of 2015. A member of the first women's state championship soccer team, Naomi was the state and conference player of the year, as well as the leading scorer for the Mounties. Tanya Nunez and Julia Ornelas, class of 2016. Teammates on the back-to-back state championship women's cross-country team known as the Mount SAC Pack Attack. Tanya and Julia were 2 of 8 women who won every major cross-country event for 2 years in a row. And Joe mentioned the 2017 team. I was able to go to that state championship this year, and we saw the same thing. We saw Mountie after Mountie after Mountie, just back to back to back in that pack formation that led them to a state championship. Pete Williams, class of 93, a standout basketball player at Mount SAC and the University of Arizona. Pete signed with the Denver Nuggets and became their Rookie of the Year. Pete was inducted into the Pac-10 Hall of Honor in 2005. Cassandra Taylor, class of 2015, a proud Mountie for over 40 years. Cassandra was one of the first female African-American athletic trainers in the nation. Even though she retired, she continues her commitment to Mount SAC as an assistant women's basketball coach. Jeff Vanderstock, class of 92, a national champion in the hurdles and a member of the 1968 Olympic track and field team. Jeff held numerous national records and was the first community college athlete to break the 50-second barrier in the 440 hurdles. Rich Johnson, class of 2015, the starting pitcher on back-to-back state championship baseball teams in the early 60s. Rich was also a 2-time Conference Pitcher of the Year for the Mounties. John Norton, class of 2016, a member of the Mount SAC family for over 40 years. John was a state championship athlete in track and field, a state championship winning coach in cross country, a very successful track and field coach. John ended his career at Mount SAC as the Dean of Physical Education and Athletics Director. Bob Segrin, class of 1992. As we mentioned, Bob was a silver and gold medal Olympian in the pole vault who broke over 14 world records during his career, and he is your master of ceremonies for the evening. Joe Keogh, inducted as an individual in 1992 and as a member of the 1965 baseball team in 2015. Joe was an All-American quarterback for the Mounties, but was best known for his baseball prowess. He was an outfielder and batted .393 on the 1965 state championship team. Joe was a second-round draft pick who played many years in Major League Baseball. Evans Roderick, class of 2015, a member of the Mount SAC family for over 40 years as a counselor and track and field and football coach. Rod developed the first academic support program for student athletes in the state of California. He still spends his days at Mount SAC coaching football and attending numerous events. Bill Bryan, class of 2015, an infielder on the 1964 and 65 baseball teams. Bill was the co-captain his sophomore year and helped lead the Mounties not only to the first baseball state championship in college history, but the first back-to-back state championship as well. Hilmer Lodge, class of 92, a legendary track and field coach who helped design the original stadium, which is named after him. Hilmer Lodge is also known as the father of the Mount SAC relays. Representing him tonight are his sons, Ray and Eric Lodge. Don Rue, class of 2013, a cross-country and track and field coach at Mount SAC for over 30 years. Don is the founder and director of the LA 84 Youth Days program, which has brought the sport of track and field to over 500,000 children throughout Southern California. Dr. Ernie Gregoire, class of 2013, a world-renowned track and field coach who has developed 3 USA champions and 5 Olympians. Ernie was an Olympic team coach for track and field in 2000. Ernie also served Mount SAC as the Associate Dean of Student Services. Bob McGuire, class of 2014, a member of the first state championship team at Mount San Antonio College. In 1956, Bob anchored 2 national record relay teams. Bob also ran the 1 and 2 mile events that helped the 1957 men's track and field team to its first ever state championship. Art Mazmanian, class of 2013, one of the most recognized and respected baseball coaches in the nation. Art was an assistant coach of the 1984 Olympic team. The baseball stadium at Mount San Antonio College is named after him. Fred Burry, class of 2016, starting out as a multi-sport coach at Mount SAC, Fred ended up spending 34 years as the head wrestling coach. He coached 2 Mount SAC Hall of Fame athletes, and his teams placed in the top 10 in the state 10 times. That concludes our introductions. Please give them a round of applause. That's just a taste of our history. Dinner will now be served, so we ask you to sit back, relax, and enjoy your meal, and then we'll continue with the program after that. Thank you.
I know it's that part of the evening that we've all been waiting for to honor our inductees. Now, we're going to get to know them through some of the people that know them best. We'll be playing a video, a little bit about their lives and why they are being inducted into our Hall of Fame. So once the video is done, we'll bring them up to the stage. They can make their remarks, and we'll give them their Hall of Fame medal, and our Assemblywoman Bianca Rubio will be giving them their special proclamation. So, are we ready? All right. Well, our first honoree, we're going to knock it out of the ballpark. Ha ha. So when you think Dodger Blue, you're actually thinking of Fred Clare. So let's find out about Fred Clare. Let's watch the video.
In summing up Fred Clare, I see a man of incredible character, a drive for excellence, extreme integrity, and competitive beyond words.
The word that always comes to mind whenever you talk about Fred Clare is first class. He's a gentleman. He's a person of high integrity, totally focused on doing the best job possible. And those are all traits that one would want to emulate in one's life. And so, in that sense, watching the way that Fred conducts himself is an example for all of us.
I think of him, and will always think of him, as a great friend, a great mentor, and a great role model. If you're lucky enough to be one of those people that can call him a friend, you're a very lucky person.
Like any young boy growing up in Ohio, Fred Clare loved baseball. In 1950, his family left the small town for life in Southern California, where Fred enrolled at Torrance High School. It was there, through the influence of a teacher, that he discovered a passion for sports journalism and began to consider it as a profession. When his family moved to Pomona, Fred enrolled at Mount San Antonio College, was a student athlete, and continued studying journalism. He would soon discover that his experience at Mount SAC would impact his life his education, and his career. With his foundation established, Fred continued his education and transferred to San Jose State University to pursue a degree in journalism. After graduating, Fred hit the ground running and spent 12 years in the newspaper field as a sports editor, columnist, and baseball writer for the Long Beach Press-Telegram, the Pomona Progress Bulletin, and the Whittier Daily News. In 1969, Fred was covering the Dodgers during spring training when there was an opening in the Public Relations Department. He jumped at the chance, and this move proved to be life-changing. In a distinguished career with the Dodgers, Claire served the team as publicity director, vice president of public relations, promotions, and marketing, executive vice president in charge of day-to-day operations, and executive vice president and general manager. When he was named general manager in 1987, he immediately went into action and rebuilt the team into contenders. He quickly acquired utility players, pitchers, and veterans of the game. He led the team with a progressive vision and turned them into champions. Fred's leadership was instrumental in the team winning the 1988 World Series, and he is widely credited with changing the history of Dodgers baseball. During his tenure in Major League Baseball, his impact and influence was felt throughout the organization and beyond.
Fred's character, always honest. I don't think in the 10 years I worked for him, I ever saw him in a situation where he fabricated something. It was always just transparent, total transparency, good or bad, and he demanded that. He never yelled at anyone that reported to him. It was more like if you made a mistake, I'm disappointed in you, which just cut to the heart, you know. So we all learned so much from his leadership. Just have integrity, have character, be honest, do the best you can, work hard.
I think for Fred, it's the drive for excellence, and he has had an indelible impact on my life. He still and forever will be my mentor. There's the general way of doing things, and there's the Fred Claire way of doing things. Fred demands excellence, and he demands it from himself first and foremost, as well as anyone else who is in his reporting line. And because of those great lessons that I learned as a young man, I've taken those with me throughout my entire career and have managed to do pretty well because of Fred's influence on my life.
Since his departure from the Dodgers in 1998, Fred maintained an active schedule as a columnist and analyst, as well as serving as host to a weekly radio show. Fred's Dodger memoirs were captured in the release of his 2004 book, My 30 Years in Dodger Blue, which was recognized on the Los Angeles Times bestsellers list. Fred has also left his imprint in academia. Fred served as an instructor at USC, where he lectured on the business of sports and media, and as a member of the advisory board for both the USC Sports Business Institute and the Student Sports Business Association.
He's a guy that doesn't just talk the talk, he walks the walk. I mean, he has helped countless students of mine, even after he and I taught together. Because they're my students, to him, they're his students, because I'm his friend. And it's been very apparent to me how much he cares, how much he wants to make a difference. He's always taken the high road in life. He does the right thing.
Fred continues to serve as a consultant to companies involved in sports and is active in civic organizations, including serving on the board of directors with the Special Olympics of Southern California, the Los Angeles Sports Council, and the Rose Bowl Operating Company. In 2017, the Fred Claire Celebrity Golf Classic was created to bring celebrities together with lifelong fans and committed supporters to raise funds for the City of Hope's Head and Neck Cancers Department.
If you knew Fred and he was your friend, that's a tremendous legacy. And so those of us who have been fortunate enough to know Fred over the years have that. And the rest of the community, he brought a world championship to Los Angeles, and he did it with a lot of class and style. And I think that's a pretty strong legacy right there.
For his remarkable career, influence, and character, the Mount SAC Athletics Hall of Fame proudly welcomes Fred Claire.
Thank you, Bob, and thanks to Mount SAC and Melissa and Bill and others for that very nice tribute. But as all of you in this room know, because there are so many coaches and athletes here, it is all about team. It has always been, and it always will be about team. So I will start with the introduction of my all-star team. My wife, Cheryl, daughters, Jennifer and Kimberly, and longtime friends from Dodger days, Sam Fernandez, Jeff Fellenzer, and Rich Key. During the earlier program, when Debbie was introducing the great athletes from Mount SAC's history, and those who have come back, and those who are here tonight, including many longtime dear friends in Bob Sigrin and John Norton, Joe Keogh, Art Mesmanian, and others. I was thinking about when I come back next year and she's introducing the athletes, she's going to have a real challenge when she introduces Fred Clare as a member of the junior varsity basketball team in 1954 and 55. But I will say this for that team, under the guidance of Pierre Provost, that team did get to the state finals, if my memory is correct, in Sacramento, and lost in the state finals. So I was happy and proud to scrimmage against those guys every day. My introduction to Mount SAC was in the fall of 1954. That was a long time ago. I had spent my first year in college at El Camino, and when my parents and family moved to Pomona, I moved to Mount SAC. And one of the first people that I met at Mount SAC, because I was a journalism major, was certainly inspired by a man by the name of Bill Camrath at El Camino, who had built a tremendous journalism program. So when I showed up for the first journalism class at Mount SAC, you may not believe this, but my instructor was Hilmer Lodge. I don't think anybody in this room is aware that Hilmer Lodge was teaching journalism. I think it was really a factor that when Mount SAC was created, as you know, the teachers had to do a lot of different things in a lot of different roles. So after about 3 classes, Hilmer knew that I had worked for a newspaper while in school, and also after my freshman year in college, I'd worked full-time for a newspaper during that period of time. So after about 3 sessions, he came up to me and he said, Fred, he said, I want to tell you something. He said, you can teach this class. And I said, Hilmer, I didn't come here expecting to teach. But the point of that, and the reason for that, is that Hilmer had a vision of what he wanted to accomplish. And what he accomplished is well known throughout the world today. He saw track and field as a way to contribute to the college, to the community, and to athletes. In his first year, he started a cross-country meet that had 9 high schools and 9 junior colleges, 148 runners. The Mount SAC relays today draw 15,000 athletes. Hilmer knew that great athletes would be attracted to a great track facility. And so he went to work to establish that facility, now appropriately named the Hilmer Lodge Track Stadium. And there have been 20 world records that have been set at Mount SAC. And it will also, as noted earlier, be the home for the 2020 U.S. Olympic trials, a tremendous achievement for Mount SAC and all of you here. But I think of Mount SAC in terms of the vision of Hilmer, which was part of the vision of those who created Mount SAC. When it started, it had a budget of $190,000. But it had people who had a vision to create something more. And now a budget of $450 million and so many advancements in all fields that it's just a tremendous accomplishment. So I'm very honored to have had my experience at Mount SAC, to know people like Hilmer and so many others, the friendships that I've had with many of you here. My life, really, my foundation in education began with the community college system. And I will be forever grateful for that community college system, and I will be forever grateful to Mount SAC for what it did for me and for this honor that I received tonight.
All right, thank you, Fred. You know, when I was in high school, Fred, I think, was the sports editor at the Progress Bulletin in Pomona. And I remember the first time I got my picture in the newspaper for pole vaulting. I was so thrilled, and it was the greatest motivation. So thank you, Fred. And I still have that picture. So, all right, our next honoree is Ray Van Asten. He's one of the greatest half-milers to ever come out of the San Gabriel Valley. So let's watch a little video and find out more about Ray.
From the Netherlands to Australia and then Southern California. It was an unusual path for a 17-year-old athlete to take just to arrive at Bonita High School, but Ray Van Asten took it and quickly established himself as a dominant athlete. He broke several records in the 880, set a CIF Southern Section meet record of 153, set new state and national records in the event while winning the state championship, and was honored as the CIF Track Athlete of the Year in 1960. Deciding to transfer to Mount SAC in 1961 and work with historic coach Hilmer Lodge, Ray set new national records in the 880, establishing the standard for excellence and becoming two-time state champion.
He was always a fierce competitor. Could always depend on him in clutch situations. Ray was a larger-than-life person. He was Juan Terena before there was Juan Terena. On the athletic field, if you could translate him to a horse, he'd be like Secretariat. Just smooth runner, great acceleration, and didn't like defeat. He was definitely the leader. Recalling the team and their relationship, it was a good time. They worked well together, and there seemed to be great respect for Ray.
The Mountie squads were considered some of the best in the country, and in 1962, Coach Lodge paired Ray and fellow Mount SAC Hall of Famer John Norton together on the mile relay team. The state championship that year came down to the final race, pitting Ray and the mighty Mounties against the champions from PCC. Ray trailed by 15 yards, but eventually pulled ahead to win the event title and the team championship by a single point.
Well, I just think he had just strong determination. I mean, he did not like to lose, and he would give 110%. Would do whatever it took to win a race. He could win a race in 2 minutes, or he could go 148. Depends what it took to win the race, and he would always come up to that challenge no matter what it was. And everybody respected that and respected him. So our team rose to a new level because of the confidence we had in him. I just think the confidence he brought to the track and field and to competition, and I think that piece is a piece that I've always remembered about Ray. He looked up to him and realized what one could do if he put his mind to it, his heart into it.
After his 2 seasons at Mount SAC, Ray took his talents to the University of Oregon, where he ran for Bill Bowerman and the Men of Oregon. In 1963, Ray led his strong team to the Far West Track Championship and the Seattle Relays Championship. In 1964, the Ducks won a national title, with Ray continuing his dominance and leading the team to success. For his record-breaking achievements, his leadership on the track, and his extraordinary athletic ability, the Mount SAC Hall of Fame welcomes Ray Van Asten.
Thank you, Bob. Appreciate it. I'll give you that. Thank you again. Good. Well, it's an honor to be here this evening and see so many friends after so many years. I would like to say that I totally second what Fred Clare said just a few minutes ago about Hilma Lodge. And I was telling Ray Lodge and Eric Lodge earlier that part of the success of any athlete is his relationship with the coach. And Hilma and I clicked, and that's the only way I can put it to get you a better performance going. For 2 years, Hilma and I worked very hard, and part of the success, it was really his success. And I will be ever grateful to Hilma for what he showed me and what he did for me. I want to thank everybody here for coming tonight and this great honor that I've received, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Ray. I remember being in junior high school, and my brother was on the track team with Ray, my older brother Art, and I remember spending many afternoons in Mount SAC Stadium and enjoyed watching his performances. They were amazing. He was a great half-miler. All right, our next inductee, Marcel Torres Williamson. She created a huge impact in the softball world as a dual threat, as a player and a coach. Let's learn more about Marcel now.
Growing up in Diamond Bar, Marcel Torres participated in multiple sports, but it was the softball diamond where she found her talent and passion. She quickly rose through the ranks of club teams before she was asked to play with the Gordon Panthers, an elite travel ball team which provided her an opportunity to travel to Japan and compete at just 16 years old. An outstanding athlete at Diamond Bar High School, Marcel was named first-team All-CIF her senior year and helped the Brahmas to a quarterfinals berth in the playoffs. She was a 4-time first-team All-League player for Diamond Bar, a 4-time team MVP, and Defensive Player of the Year as a senior.
Well, she had the physical ability, for one. Working with me, unfortunately, I was pretty hard, pretty tough on her because the way I pushed her. I pushed all my girls on my team, and she endured it. I kept reminding her about how her grandfather was a hard worker, and when she had issues on physical issues like getting hurt or something, how she needed to learn how to endure. I told her she just persevere from that and take it further, you know, and she did. I knew by the time she was in high school she was going to get a scholarship. Just a matter of time to keep the grades up and who's going to pick you know. And she did well.
After high school, Marcel signed a full-ride scholarship with perennial powerhouse UCLA. She played utility and third base her first season and was part of a team that took second place at the College Softball World Series. In 2002, she transferred to Mount SAC, where she led the Mounties softball team to their first ever state championship in 2003. Marcel was a dual threat for Coach Kelly Ford, both defensively as a pitcher and offensively as one of the best hitters on the team.
Marcel and that 2003 team really put Mount SAC on the board with California Community College softball. I think a lot of people didn't know what to expect, and we actually started off the 2003 season with Marcel on the mound with a loss. I think it shocked me more than anybody, because here I'm thinking, oh, I got Marcel in my back pocket, we're gonna run the table, and boom, the first game we lose, and it was 1-0 against Ventura. And I had to really gather myself, because I really was in shock. And I remember going over to Marcel thinking, man, how's she gonna respond? She's gonna regret being here. And she took complete accountability for that one run that was scored against her. Knowing we didn't play great defense behind her, we didn't score, but she took that loss on herself. And I thought, wow, that is just a championship attitude. And that's what Marcel was about.
She was named the most valuable pitcher of the state tournament, the Southern California Player of the Year, the team MVP, the Mount SAC 2003 Spring Female Athlete of the Year, and was a first-team All-American.
Her leadership was absolutely incredible, and the tradition that she really started at Mount SAC, I owe so much to her, because she made me better, she made her teammates better, and started a tradition of winning that is still going today.
After receiving her associate's degree, Marcel transferred on a full scholarship to Cal State Long Beach, where she established herself on the mound and as a utility player. Garnering numerous accolades and awards, Marcel left a lasting legacy in Long Beach. Graduating with a degree in sociology, Marcel began her career as a softball coach. Her Mount SAC journey came full circle when in 2013 she was hired as a professor of kinesiology and continued as an assistant coach with the softball program. That year, the Mountie softball staff received the National Fast Pitch Coaching Association Coaching Staff of the Year Award. Marcel still had plenty left as an athlete and was signed by the Venezuelan national team. She was able to play and travel for 2 years to Venezuela, Puerto Rico, Canada, and Mexico. Her passion for the sport has not diminished, and Marcel continues to coach her daughter's team, provide private lessons, and conduct pitching clinics with her local leagues. For her drive to succeed and her commitment to excellence, the Mount SAC Hall of Fame proudly inducts Marcel Torres Williamson.
Please welcome Marcel Torres Williamson.
I'd like to first thank the Hall of Fame committee for presenting me with this amazing honor to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, and congratulate the other inductees. Never in my wildest dreams did I ever think that I'd be getting the phone call that I would be inducted, and as soon as I got that phone call, I was just overwhelmed with joy, appreciation, and so much gratitude. Just thinking of everybody that has helped me along the way to get here. The quote that came to mind was that it takes a village to raise a child, and that was the case for me both on and off the field. Today I have some of my family, 3 tables full over here, that I'd like to give a shout out to. And especially, I'm blessed to have my 96-year-old grandfather be here, also to witness this amazing honor, so thank you very much. I always struggled academically. That was never a secret in my family. Definitely softball came very easy to me, and it was my passion, but academically I struggled a lot. I was awarded a full athletic scholarship to UCLA, and I knew on the field that I'd be able to hang, and just figured in the classroom that I'd figure it out. And after the first year, that definitely wasn't the case. I remember walking into my first class at UCLA and thinking it was the size of a concert hall, and thinking, what did I get myself into? My coach sat me down after that year and said that, we needed to make a change, and she told me about this community college called Mount SAC, which coincidentally, I live about 10 minutes from the school, and my stepdad works there forever, but it was never a school I thought about going to. I knew I was going to a university, but I trusted my coach there. She told me about this new coach, Kelly Ford, that had transferred over from Cal State Fullerton, and I just took her word, and I transferred here. When I met with Coach Ford, I just remember thinking how genuine she was. I loved her passion for the game and her knowledge, and From there, she introduced me to my second village, which would be Coach Rod, my academic counselor, Erica from the WIN, Miss Cassandra, who would be my trainer to get me back in shape, and thinking that was going to be my second family. And I redshirted the first year because the plan was for me to get, academically sound, get fit to transfer on to another school. And I had met with a couple different colleges, University of Oklahoma, Cal State Fullerton, Texas A&M, but nothing ever felt quite right. I remember going to Coach Ford saying that I was going to stay the following year and play for her. I just believed in the program, I believed in what Mount SAC had to offer, and I wanted to play here. And it was the best decision I could have ever made. We won the championship, took it in 2003, and it was an amazing feeling. I was supported with an amazing team, an amazing coaching staff, and a huge support system. And I will forever be grateful for what Mount SAC has done for me. I was able to transfer to Cal State Fullerton, Cal State Long Beach, and had 2 amazing years there, academically and on the softball field. And everybody that knows me knows that I always come back home, that I always talk about Mount SAC and how much it changed my life. So I want to thank you and just encourage you to keep doing the same thing, because you guys changed lives for many student athletes, and I really appreciate that. I know I got the softball team in the house over here with some players, so let's bring that championship home. Good luck this season, and let's do the darn thing. I will always be a Mountee. Thank you so much for this award here.
Thank you, Marcel. Honor well deserved, and welcome to the club. All right, our next honoree, Frank Gilbert. Frank was a track and field and cross-country athlete who inspires us with his ability to overcome obstacles. You'll see why.
In 1963, Frank Gilbert was an average team runner on the cross-country team at Baldwin Park High School. But under the guidance of his coach, Dave Casper, Frank soon developed a discipline and commitment to running that allowed him to excel. He won meets, broke records, and by the time he was a senior, he was the individual league champion and attracted the attention of the coaches at Mount SAC.
When you think about what it takes to be a successful cross-country runner, it's thorough dedication, which Frank had, and the ability to relax in races and to run smart, and he certainly did this when he ran.
Frank entered Mount SAC in 1964 and promptly made his mark. He competed with a cross-country team that had great success in their conference. He also found a place on the track team that ranked at the top in the country. However, the momentum he had as a student athlete was soon to change after his freshman year. Frank received a draft notice. He didn't hesitate to answer the call to serve and soon shipped off to the Army. He found his athleticism to be an advantage during basic training, and he quickly distinguished himself as a soldier. Deployed to the Vietnam jungle, Frank persevered with courage and strength, even as the physical toll was often unbearable. He communicated with Coach Don Rue through that time, and Mount SAC connected him to home. When Frank returned to Mount SAC in 1969, it was a time of political discord in the country and across college campuses. Frank feared it would disrupt the team if they knew of his military service. He quietly rejoined the team, and he chose never to speak about what he had been through.
Well, looking back on many fine athletes we've had here at Mount San Antonio College, I think anyone, any coach in any sport would envy having a young man like Frank Gilbert on your team with his character and his determination and hard work and willingness to be part of a team that was successful throughout his career. So he's a perfect example of what Mount SAC athletics is all about.
Completing his education at Cal Poly, he spent his career with the LA County Sheriff's Department, once again serving his fellow citizens. But his passion for running never waned, and Frank also found a rewarding experience coaching high school cross-country and track, undoubtedly carrying on the tradition of excellence he exemplified. For his outstanding athletic ability, his service to his country, the public, and education, the Mount SAC Athletics Hall of Fame proudly inducts Frank Gilbert.
Please welcome Frank Gilbert.
Thank you for this honor. It's great to be back home. I've lived and taught in Oklahoma, taught at the University, Southeastern Oklahoma State University, history and political science. And I've coached all over California. But I think what I'm most proud of is the fact that my friend Commander Phil Camp, who was my teammate in 1965, he waited until he got drafted. Then he joined the Navy as a naval aviator, and fought during the Vietnam era, flying helicopters, fixed wing, and fighter jets. And he's one of my heroes. Another hero is my son Matt. He's sitting here. He flew all the way from Kazakhstan to be here tonight with his wife Micah. And he has served a 15-month tour in Iraq fighting and a tour in Afghanistan. And he was one of the first troops from the 82nd Airborne on the ground when the terrible tragedy in Haiti happened. And so I'm very proud of them and my family. I wouldn't be standing here today. I firmly believe this. If it wasn't for Mount SAC and Coach Casper from Baldwin Park, who started me running at the age of 15 years old, and Coach Norton and Coach Rue, they got me in shape. I was a 135-pound paratrooper who carried an 80-pound pack and a 26-pound machine gun. And I fought in Vietnam and with a legendary 506 Infantry, which is part of the 101st Airborne, which they made this series on TV, The Band of Brothers. You familiar with that? And I didn't think I would make it back. And you can see my old helmet over there on the right, on the top. And if you look at it carefully, there's even a dent on the top where one of our own fighter jets was trying to keep my company, B Company of the 3rd 506, from being overrun, and they dropped a 500-pound bomb right in front of our positions. And there's all kinds of shrapnel and that huge dent on the top, and I think that's affected my head all these years. But I brought that home with me, and you can see a young man's 19 years old writing things like "War is Hell" on there, Baldwin Park High School, Mount SAC College. You know, and there's a peace symbol on there too. And but I'm a strong advocate of our young men and women that are in the military. When I came back from Vietnam, like I said in the little film there, I wasn't really welcome back. I just had to fit in, which I did, and my coaches got me through my second year at Mount SAC, and I was lucky again to be on a great team. My first team in '65, Bob Segrin, Jeff Vanderstock, Don Schei on that team, undefeated. And to come back and virtually go from wearing a uniform back to the track, it's like I never left. I was in such great shape because of what I had to go through in Vietnam for that year. So I'm a strong advocate on how we treat our servicemen when they come back from overseas fighting wars they didn't start. George Washington wrote, "The willingness with which our young people are likely to serve in any war, no matter how justified, shall be directly proportionate to how they perceive veterans of early wars were treated and appreciated by our nation." So I firmly believe that we need to support the kids we send over there. They're apolitical. We're able to sit here in safety tonight because of what they do for our country. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Frank. And it's an honor to be a teammate of yours back in '65. And it's always so nice to see a fellow teammate being inducted into the Hall of Fame. All right, our next inductee, David Casper. David was a national champion in the 880-yard run, and he continues to make an impact today as a coach and a volunteer. Let's watch the video.
If you say the name Dave Casper, everybody in the San Gabriel Valley knows who you're talking about. Dave has been a supporter of everybody, athletes, coaches, not just the kids at Baldwin Park, but all of the kids in the San Gabriel Valley, and maybe more importantly, all of the coaches. He's been a mentor to virtually thousands of coaches who have come behind him and have learned the sport from Dave. Dave has just been the influence that has driven all of us.
Dave Casper first became a part of the Mount SAC story more than 60 years ago, running for El Monte High School at the Cross Country Invitational. Following graduation, he attended Mount San Antonio College, where he met legendary track coach Hilmer Lodge. Lodge challenged him to excel as a runner, and in 1953, he led the nation in the 800, tying the national junior college record. Casper transferred to Fresno State, and he was awarded a track scholarship. He proved to be a standout athlete in multiple events, leading to his induction into the Fresno State Track and Field Hall of Fame. In 1962, Casper began developing great cross-country and track programs at Baldwin Park High School, with his teams competing annually at Mount SAC. Always the innovator, Dave started the Baldwin Park Distance Carnival in the early 60s, a distance-only track meet that continues today.
I first met Dave Casper back in 1964 when I came to Mount San Antonio College, and he was the coach at Baldwin Park High School from 1962 to 1966. And I was impressed with the caliber of athlete he was turning out, and he sent most of them to Mount SAC. But Dave was a real, true Mount SAC team person in respect of wanting to see Mount SAC perform well in everything they did. It's probably been now close to 55 years now that Dave has been part of the Mount SAC programs, and in that time, it'd be hard to find one person that spent that many years so concerned and so dedicated in supporting the college as Dave Casper has.
In the late 70s, the CIF increased the cross-country distance to 3 miles. Casper was an integral part of the group that helped plan the new Mount SAC Invitational cross-country course. His incredible knowledge and experience helped develop what is considered to be one of the most challenging courses in the country. A shining example to cross-country coaches in the San Gabriel Valley, Casper was a member of multiple CIF committees, contributing his time and efforts to ensure the integrity of the sport. Since his retirement from teaching and coaching, Casper has remained an active supporter of the running community and the Mount SAC Cross Country Invitational.
It's obvious the Mount SAC experience has had a profound effect on Dave Casper. Everywhere he's gone, he's taken the lessons that he learned here as an athlete and as a coach and applied them as a teacher and as a coach in his own career, and has passed those on to everybody else. In the sports of track and cross country, there's no one like Dave Casper. His positive influence has been felt by so many people over the years. We owe a great debt of gratitude to Dave Casper.
For his outstanding contributions as a student athlete and for his great devotion to education, the Mount SAC Athletics Hall of Fame proudly inducts Dave Casper.
All right, please welcome David Casper.
Photography.
Congratulations. Oh, that might be the frame. I'll let you pick that up. I'll keep yours.
Okay. Well, this has been a great honor. And, excuse me, seeing some of our former athletes here at Baldwin Park that came to Mount SAC. Larry Richards back there was one of our good athletes at Baldwin Park, basketball, and he was the high jumper. and went on to Mount SAC here, and played basketball with my son Don, and so anyway, I would like to thank the administration, Dr. Scruggins, the #1 junior college, community college in the nation, and with also his athletics. It's been just a joy to be involved with Mount SAC and Hilmer Lodge and Don Rue. I'm very humbled and honored to be here tonight, and I never have achieved what I wanted to do today without my wife for many years, and she supported me many years. In college, Fresno State, you know, my wife would be on the weekends, we'd go over and climb the fence over at Red Class Stadium, and she'd be timing me and getting the bees out of our feet and so on. Anyway, what else here? Okay. Joining me tonight at my table is my, I've got to look over and see, my daughter Judy and her husband John. They're educators. John is a coach at Ayala High School, and one of the new coaches for softball played for John, and she was Athlete of the Year in the state of California for everything. That's Miss Hall over there, Coach Hall. And then I have my son Don that played basketball here and was a track person, high jump with Larry Richards, and then right now he is a world-class Hawaiian outrigger canoe. And then there's my daughter, Jane, just flew in from Maui, where she's at the hospital, and when she was here at Mount SAC, they had the Mount SAC relays had a girls' court, Princess Court, and Jane was chosen to go in with Hilmer, with Don Rue, and go to the news conferences, and she had to go a lot of places to give a background on Mount SAC. That's my family, and then we have Bob. Bob is now is an educator and Hall of Fame. He's been in the 2 Hall of Fames, the Renaissance, Jocelyn's. And then, okay, now talking about Hilmer Lodge. Hilmer Lodge, as Fred said, was a tremendous man. And he got us, all the track guys, we were on the government. I was on the student council, and we had the president and vice president, and it was really kind of neat to be involved with Hilmer. He just motivated everybody. And I can remember one time when he was the director for the USA track and field finals in San Diego. And then all of a sudden they found out that he didn't have a wind cage, and they couldn't break any world's records. So he says, Dave, I want you to do something. I went, can you get a wind gauge? Oh my gosh. And so anyway, I said, who's got a wind gauge? And then I figured, the Navy has to have a wind gauge. So anyway, but I called and they give me the commander's, the top guy in charge for the WASP aircraft carrier. And I asked him if they could get a wind gauge. He says, I'll have one there almost immediately. And sure enough, I don't know how they got over there fast, but here we had a wind gauge. And Hilmer, that's the kind of attitude we had with Hilmer. He could do anything. So when I came to Mount SAC, Hilmer asked me, well, you could do two things. You could run the hurdles and, excuse me for a second. You can run the hurdles and you're going to win a lot of races that I did in high school. But if you want to run the 880, I'll make a national champion out of you. And, I just was naive enough to realize that to be an 880 runner. And so, sure enough, my second year, we had the fastest time in the nation. And this is when, before I saw Van Asten there, but he came as a runner, but I came as a hurdler. So anyway, we had great times. Well, and I have to tell you one story. When I was the director here, the CIF commissioner called me and said, Dave, the course of the cross country is going to be a 3 mile instead of a 2 mile. So anyway, we got together with Don Rue, fantastic man, and we set up the course. And I'm going to tell you this: there's no sport in this school that can, in 2 days, can have 25,000 competitors, and I figured sometimes in 2 days it's about $250,000. Maybe I'm a little high, maybe low, but anyway, Doug Todd is doing a great job now. I hope everybody supports him at the Olympic tryouts, and so I would like to thank everybody and for this honor, and good luck to everybody.
All right. Congratulations, Dave. Nice to have you as part of the Hall of Fame. All right, our next honoree, Rocky Seto. Many of us have witnessed some of his greatest professional accomplishments, including the 2013 NFL Super Bowl championship and 2 other Super Bowl appearances. Let's take a look at the video and learn a little more about Rocky.
Few can ever dream about the experiences that former Mountie Rocky Seto has been blessed to be a part of during his illustrious football playing and coaching career. The son of hardworking Japanese immigrants, Seto grew up in Arcadia, California. In high school, Rocky played football where he dreamed of one day playing for the USC Trojans, the favorite team of his father. After high school, he decided to follow his dream by continuing his education and playing career at Mount San Antonio College. Seto chose Mount SAC to have the chance to play for notable USC alum and Mounties head coach Bill Fisk.
Just to say that he was a special player is not enough to really describe what Rocky Seto was all about. He was the hardest working player, had more enthusiasm than any player I've ever coached. Rocky worked harder than any player I had. The love of the game was greater than any player I had. During practice, Rocky would be the first one from one drill to another, running and usually chanting something, let's go guys, here we go, we're gonna win, and so on. Enthusiasm, great hustle all the time, and that was Rocky.
After Mount SAC, Seto realized his dream as a walk-on to the USC football team in 1997. He displayed the same qualities as he did at Mount SAC, earning Defensive Black Shirt Player of the Year honors, team captain, and a full athletic scholarship during his senior season. After his playing career ended, Seto was retained as an assistant coach, and in 2001, Pete Carroll became the new head coach. Carroll and Rocky began a 16-year coaching partnership at both USC and later with the Seattle Seahawks, serving in various capacities as a trusted advisor to Pete Carroll. At USC, he served as an assistant coach and defensive coordinator. At Seattle, Seto served as quality control coach, assistant coach, pass game coordinator, and assistant head coach.
Rocky had enormous impact on our programs at SC and here in Seattle. On a lot of people, but I think his greatest impact is what he had on me personally. Rock was my closest confidant throughout all of those years. As we developed our relationship and our history, he kind of kept me on track year after year to stay true to the message and true to the philosophy, and was really my closest ally in maintaining a great consistency over the years, and for that I will always be grateful. What made Rocky a success on and off the field is this drive, this internal drive he has to be true to himself and to be a great person to those around him. He was driven by his faith and loyally committed to our programs at all times, but there was that consistency that showed so many younger people, younger players, what it is like to really be committed and be true to yourself, and Rocky was great at it.
Together, they produced 7 bowl game victories, 7 Pac-10 championships, 2 NCAA Division I national championships, 3 NFC West championships, 2 Super Bowl appearances, and the 2013 NFL Super Bowl championship. Off the field, Seto and Carroll have also partnered to improve football safety through their shoulder tackling instructional videos and clinics to ensure that many generations continue to safely play the sport.
Well, thanks for having me.
In 2017, Seto announced his retirement from the NFL to pursue his calling and serve as a pastor. He also continues to spiritually inspire others through his website and through various motivational speaking engagements.
It's all about Jesus.
For his remarkable accomplishments on the gridiron, his contribution to improve the game of football, and his commitment to the community, the Mount SAC Athletics Hall of Fame proudly inducts Rocky Seto.
Please welcome Rocky Seto.
Wow. Marcel, I agree with that. I never thought this would ever happen. When I came to Mount SAC, I mean, I'm not like these fine athletes. It's an illustrious playing career, but really it was all about the coaching part, and it was incredible. And this is one of the greatest thrills of my life because Mount SAC has been a place of hope for me. And as any of us know here who've been to junior college, this is a place of second chances. And this has been, Mount San Antonio College has been just it's one of the thrills of my life as I look back. And I just want to acknowledge my wife, Charla, and our 4 children here, and Kaylani, Mia, Troy, and Timothy. And then my mother and father are here. The hardest working man that I know, Andy Seto, and the toughest woman that I know, Amy Calcetto right here, and it's hard being a gardener's wife. And it just started as a boy growing up in the San Gabriel Valley, and just God put this dream in my heart that, I don't know, it sounds far-fetched, but to play football at the University of Southern California. So I just want to tell you, and the student athletes here, dream big, go for it. You never have any regrets. Push hard as you can, do it the right way, but dream big. And what happened was this: as I entered, like the video talked about, the reason why I wanted to come to Mount San Antonio College, because Bill Fisk, Coach Fisk, he gave me a chance to play football here and be part of the football team, and he gave me an opportunity to express the passion that's within me. And it's just the relationships, whether it's Coach Carroll or Coach Fisk, Coach Roderick, helping us out academically. I mean, it's relationships are what makes life rich. And the reason why Mount SAC is such a huge part for me is that it gave me hope to pursue this dream. Because out of high school, it wasn't good enough. Academically, athletically, mentally, I wasn't ready to go. And then so the hope that Mount SAC gave me the opportunity to go for it. And then when it happened, I'm like, my goodness, I can't believe this happened. Got to graduate from Mount SAC and then transfer to USC and then coach football for a living. Are you kidding me? And then coach at the Seattle Seahawks. But what Mount SAC provided was this hope to pursue a dream. But really what happened was it was an extension of what gave me, how the Lord used this to give me my ultimate hope. At Mount SAC, I had teammates talking to me about Christ. And then when I got to USC, I had more teammates talking to me about Christ. That's when I became a follower and lover of Jesus Christ. And I realized my ultimate hope is in Christ. And so as I look back, God used Mount SAC to really find me out. I was lost. And I look back from Mount SAC and really, quite frankly, this is one of the greatest decisions of my life. Next to choosing to follow Christ, my Lord and Savior, next to marrying my wife. Going to Mount SAC was just a ridiculously great decision, and God blessed it. And I just can't say enough. And so right now, like the video talked about, I'm pastoring, learning to be a pastor at a church called Evergreen SGV under Corey Ishida. So Pastor Corey, thank you for organizing the tables and the support. Thank you, church family, for coming out. It's just so humbling to be up here with this great class. And all I gotta say is all glory goes to God, and this is tremendous. So thank you very much.
Congratulations, Rocky. It's great to see a Mountie and a Trojan, like myself, into the Hall of Fame. So had to throw that plug in. Let's give one more round of applause for our 2018 Hall of Fame inductees. Congratulations.
Special. Really is special. And 6.5 years ago when we decided we were going to do this and resurrect this event, it was because of the folks in this room and certainly the passion that they bring and what Mount SAC has meant to them. And so very, very special to be a part of it. And I thank you all for joining us here tonight, and congratulations to the inductees and certainly our Hall of Famers. But a big round of applause to Bob Seagren once again for being our Master of Ceremonies. Thank you, Bob. And I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the group behind the scenes that made these videos possible. She orchestrated a lot of it, and she's here tonight, and I want you to give a big round of applause to Melissa Berkeley in the back of the room. an amazing individual who really highlights what we do here, and certainly wouldn't be possible without her, and certainly the team in technical services and Billy Stem, the director, and his staff, Kevin, and all the others who make it possible. So we're going to conclude this event with some photos, and so if I could have the 2018 Hall of Fame class join us here on the stage, and certainly thank all of you for being here. We are also going to invite all of the Hall of Famers up for one large picture to commemorate tonight's event, and certainly thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you at this event in the future. Thank you.